Hello random people on the internet, my name is Banana and today we're doing another fishing commentary video. Today we are talking about the Midas Sword. The Midas Sword has been in the game since the fishing update that came out, which I believe was 0.5. And then in the 0.6 update, the Midas Sword was buffed because it was really bad before that. It had like a 90 strength bonus cap, now it has a 120 strength bonus cap. And that buff made it the best weapon in the game over the Pigman Sword then, and it has been the best weapon ever since. And honestly, I think that there is a little problem in that it is the best weapon, and it always has been. I have been able to afford a Midas for the past 3-4 months, and 2 or 3 months I'd say. I have been able to buy a Midas, but I have held off because of an update. I'm hoping for an update. Obviously, everyone is. I was like, oh, it'll be in Dungeons. Dungeons is soon. And this isn't quite a problem with the fact that it isn't out in Dungeons, which I assume there will be a better sword in Dungeons than the Midas Sword. But since the Midas Sword has come out, there is nothing that has come close to rivaling it other than the Reaper Scythe. And the Reaper Scythe got nerfed to the ground because it was that good. And nothing else has touched the caliber of damage that the Midas does. And that's a huge problem for me, at least, because I have been waiting so long to get stuff that is better than the Midas. I will grind my ass off for anything that is better than the Midas Sword, and they just have not added anything. Everything they add is some mediocre garbage. Like, the Yeti Sword is the biggest joke of a sword. It's like better than an Aspect of the Dragons, but that's it. And it requires fishing 25 and a huge amount of luck. Is that worth it? Is it? Like, I have not grinded for fishing 25. I'm grinding for fishing 19 as we speak, because, like, why would you want that when it's not even better than an Aspect of the Dragons, which is the easiest sword to get in the game? They cost 7 mil and they're so good. It's like every other sword is just lacking because it's not the Midas pretty much. And I understand making it not the Midas. The Midas Sword, in the early game at least, should be the best sword in the game. But when you have people with 800 million coins, 1 billion coins, 900 million coins, like, you cannot have a 50 million coin sword being the best, because literally Ben Plays or Z Banana or Dr. Mommy Issues is co-op, they could buy like literally like 18 Midases per group they could buy. And it's like, is that really what you want to have being your best sword? And for over, like, it's been 5 months since there was anything that was like a little bit better than the Midas. Like, the Pigman used to be the best sword in the game, but ever since the Midas got buffed, it has been the best, and they haven't changed it. And it pisses me off a lot because I'm not buying a Midas now. There's no point before Dungeons to buy a Midas. I just stick with my Slayer swords that I have, my Pooch, my Reaper Falchion. They do the job on their mobs, and honestly, they did a great job with that. Like, but the thing is, I was talking to someone. I'm like, yo, can I borrow a Recluse Fang so I can do spiders? Like, oh, just use a Midas. Does the same thing. And it's like, the Midas is the all-around perfect sword. And, like, even these specific new swords that were added barely top it. And they did a great job with the Reaper Falchion, with the Pooch sword. I was at first disappointed with the Shaman, then they did add the Pooch, and the Pooch is really good for wolves. The Reaper Falchion is really good for zombies. I just wish that we had another all-around sword that was, like, better than the Midas. And I really assume that we're getting that in Dungeons, and with a slight buff, the Reaper Scythe could be considered better than the Midas once again, but they are very adamant on not buffing it until we have played Dungeons a bit to see how good the Reaper Scythe is. So the Midas Sword seems like it will continue to be the king of damage and the king of Skyblock for a bit longer, and I can't wait for that to change. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. You can be sure when there's a new sword that's better than the Midas, I will be getting it, as long as it's not Midas 2.0, where you pay 100 million or something. Did not mean to click that button. So I think that is going to be it for today's video. If you did enjoy, please slap that like button, maybe even subscribe. I would appreciate that a lot. I have been grinding out videos as much as I can while I'm still on winter break for you guys, so expect a tiny bit of a slowdown when winter break ends on Monday, because it's going to be really tough for me to crank out dailies while I'm actually working on homework and stuff. But until then, I will still be doing stuff. I'm actually streaming today at 4 p.m. Eastern on a new server. I hope that you guys come by, tune in, talk and chat. I'd really appreciate it. And yeah, that is going to be all for today. I will talk to you guys in the next one. Peace out.